I saw evil. They're not fighters. They are terrorists. What Hezbollah wanted from us? There is no Israeli soldier in Lebanon. And they planned to do the same as Hamas and much worse in the northern border.
Wait, you were shot with a half caliber?
Yes, this guy shot me. The point is penetrating armor.
How did you not split in half?
Okay, so this is story.
Welcome to Heroes of Zion, where we bring you the real voices from Israel's front lines so you can understand what is happening on the ground, beyond the headlines and beyond the noise. Today's guest is an extraordinary man called Itamar Eitam, a 44-year-old major of an elite infantry battalion, father of 6, and an educator of youth in pre-military academies. Since the war began, he led his battalion through the hard reality, which is Hamas's Gaza and Hezbollah's Lebanon, where he himself was shot and injured by a sniper. The near-death experience clarified his senses of mission and responsibility towards what is important for Israel and our security and what is not, which gave him the true purpose to go back to the battlefield and continue defending our nation. He talks extensively about the core principles of Israel and Judaism as the way we should go back to ensure the survival and future of our people. If you believe in truth, be part of this mission and share this episode. And if you want to help me keep these voices alive, you'll find ways to support this project in the description below. So, without further ado, let's dive in. You're a fascinating man. You've done a lot ever since the war started, before the war started, and you had a lot of things that changed in your perspective during the war. But beforehand, what do you think are the principles? You're talking about taking responsibilities. Do you feel that the Israeli society has lost some principles, needs some principles?
Well, I think we should go back to a place we were in our past, in our beginning as a society, in the first days of Zionism, when the tension between the group, between the collective, and the man, the person, the individual was less outside. Mm-hmm. Today, I think in a very wide cut, we can split the Israeli society to two halves. One half is the one that sees the collective as something valuable, as something that worth something, mm-hmm. and a half or less than a half, on my perspective, but a very intellectual and a very loud voice, a part of the society that sees the individual as the only brick in the wall of our society. Mm-hmm. And when we are, when I am looking on our country and our state, society, I think we need to go back to the days we knew to integrative individuals and collective to something that works together.
Yeah. When you talk about Israeli Zionist society, are you talking mainly about the Jewish Zionists, or are you also including everybody who sees themselves as Israeli?
Well, first of all, Jews, because mm-hmm. this is the state of Jews, mm-hmm. the Jewish state, and this is the purpose of this state. If it was just a regular country, liberal, democrat, Western country. We have a lot of countries like that. Mm-hmm. And what makes Israel a difference is the fact that this is the Jewish state. It doesn't say that there is no place for others. Every civilian that, even if he's not Jew, if he is connecting, is how he see himself to the Israel people. Mm-hmm. So he is part of the state of Israel as such. But the meaning, the purpose of this state is to be the Jewish state.
Yeah. So if we take the Jewish people in the state, and you're talking about there's two camps. One camp that sees us as a collective, and some part that does not see us as a collective.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do you refer the collective as us, a Jewish country? Because when we talk about places like here, the center of Tel Aviv, a center like Tel Aviv, or the Gaza envelope before the war, some people saw the collective as not a Jewish state, as a normal state. And I think that leads us to a very, very bad place, in my personal opinion.
And this is, from what I saw in the war, and very interesting. I think that I saw that that we cannot, we cannot hide from this truth. Mm-hmm. This is the Jewish state. And if we want to, the only way we can fight on this state is if we will understand it, and if we will have it in our minds, because a person does not go to war and does not risk himself for something that is not higher than him, that is not, more valuable than him.
Are you talking religiously?
No, not just religiously. I'm thinking about me as an individual, part of a collective. Mm-hmm. And the collective, this nation, is so big, is so great. I'm so a part of it. So it's worth to risk my life for it. If I don't believe in the collective, if I don't believe in the nation, if I don't believe in the purpose of this state, so it is very hard to me to risk my life for it. And what I saw in this war, in the first days, that thousands of men, reserve men, civilians all over the country, that took their bags and say hello to the wife and just went to war. It's because they believe in the deep of the heart that they are not just an individuals. They are part of something bigger. They are part of a nation. They are part of a state. They are part of a goal that this nation have. Because when I look, for example, on the people of Be'eri or Kfar Aza, the settlements in the envelope of Gaza, mm-hmm. They can look, and they might look really different than me. I mean, they're not religious. They're maybe thinking other thoughts. So what I have together with them, why should I go and fight for them? Because they are my brothers, because we are together, because we are together in a big story. I started to tell you in the first day, in the 7th of October, I was in synagogue. It was a holiday, and in 8 a.m, I heard some noises and some rumors, and I go to the house. I open the phone. Usually I don't use phone in Shabbat. And
you knew something important was happening.
Yeah. Well, I understand. I hear the whisperings and the rumors, and I saw those pickups in Sderot and the Fakim with terrorists on them.
The white Toyota pickups.
Yeah, and I understood immediately, because I know this area, that we are in a war. Because mm-hmm. I know that the IDF never imagined such a thing. Yeah,
you have experience in Gaza from beforehand. You know Hamas. I know
Hamas for a lot of years. I was a special operation officer in the Southern Command for a couple of years. I know this enemy, and I know we didn't prepare for such a thing. Mm-hmm. And at 2:00 in the afternoon, all my men were in the storage base where we have the weapons and the ammunition.
You get ready to...
Yeah, and in the evening, 500 men all over the country were ready to war. And why they came? I ask myself, I look at them and I ask myself why they came. I'm in a reserve battalion. I'm a commander of a reserve battalion.
Yes, so you led a special unit battalion in the war in Gaza.
Yeah, a special unit, a special infantry battalion. And my men are all reserves. I mean, they are students and lawyers and architects and farmers. And they came all over the country, north and south, citizens and religious and non-religious, all of the country, all of the society, and they stood in the evening preparing, ready for war. And I looked at them and I told myself, why they came? Why they came? They could stay at home, they could stay with their families, and they could avoid this thing. And a couple of days afterwards, when we were at the evening of the operation in Gaza, I was doing my last speech for the men. I know that a couple of hours afterwards we will go in, and Gaza is one of the most problematic areas of fighting in the world. Very, very crowded urban place that Hamas prepared as a defensive line for 15 years with the booby traps, with the underground tunnels that all over the place, with rockets, with snipers. And I knew when I looked at my men in the eyes, I knew, and they knew, that some of them will not get back to their homes and their families. And I asked myself why they are willing to go to this battle, to this war, knowing the price, knowing the price. It's not it's not a drill. It's not and what I told them and what I'm telling you, that you cannot fight and you cannot go to battle if you don't understand that there is something that beyond you, that is greater than you. Because if you are the thing your life and your happiness is all about, so you cannot fight because you are deliberately endangering your life. So it's no sense to fight for your life and endanger your life.
Yes.
So you must see over your personal life. You must understand and you must be connected to the something that is bigger than you, beyond you. And it's what I saw and what I felt, that this is the brotherhood, the connection, the togetherness, that yes, my people, the guys in Kfar, in the envelope of Gaza, in Kfar Aza, in Be'eri, and in Sderot are my brothers, and the whole country is mine, and I'm responsible for them, for this country, and for their survivors and for their flourishing of this state,
the well-being, for the continuing
well-being of this state.
Yes.
And for the long goal of this state. I told my men, we must remember who we are when we are going to fight. We are not just came from nothing, from the sea, and we will go vanish to the air.
Yes.
We are coming from Avraham Avinu. We are from King David, from Solomon, from the Maccabim. We are part of something greater, and we are carrying this, bed, stretching bed, stretcher. We're carrying the stretcher in this journey for 4,000 years, and we have a goal. When we came here to the state of Israel, it was no accident. It was not just a, global,
happening,
wars, and 100 years ago there was circumstances that allow us to make to build our state here, but it can be in other place, another country. No, we came home. When we built this state, when our fathers and grandfathers came here, and 120 years ago, they came home. And we came home from our journey with our stretcher, and that what is our fight? And on these stretches, there is values. And, in the first days, I was in the where the celebrations of Re'im, the Nova,
Yes.
Nova, I would call it.
Nova Festival.
Nova celebration, Nova Festival.
Exactly.
Yes. And I saw some of what happened there. And what I saw is evil. I saw evil. They're not fighters, nevertheless, not freedom fighters. They are terrorists. They want to terrorize us, to terrorize the world. They want to get over.
Do you think their goal was to terrorize us? Do you think their goal was to take back their land?
No. They knew that the IDF is much stronger than them, and after a couple of days, he will overcome them and wipe them back to Gaza. And they knew they will suffer great loss, but they didn't mind it. They didn't care. As the Iranians today, they don't care, and as Hezbollah, they don't care, because their goal is evil. They want to replace us. They want to wipe us back to Europe and North Africa and to the place we came from, and they want to erase the name of Israel. They say it, and they're not embarrassed in it. This is the goal, and they're doing it in a great evil. I saw in my eyes a great evil, and when we are going to war, when Israel go to war, we are going to war in the name of great values. We are going to war in the name of good, of kindness, of pureness, of we want to. What we are doing here, we are living our life. We are trying to do our best to live good life, a moral life, and what the Palestinians, the Islamic radicals all over us, what they want from us. I think of it. What the Iranians want from us. We took over Iranian land in Lebanon. In Lebanon, there is no one soldier, Israeli soldier, for years. In Yemen, do we have Israeli soldiers in Yemen? And even in Gaza, if a Palestinian child in Gaza wanted to see an Israeli soldier, he needed to take a cab, to go to the eastern neighborhood, to go up the highest building, and then with a binocular, maybe he will saw, an antenna of an armored vehicle several miles beyond the border.
Yes.
There was no Israeli soldiers in Gaza, and it's have no connection for taking off lands or something like that. They can't stand Israel.
Yes.
As a moral state, as a moral nation in this world, and they want to erase Israel.
Yeah, you're touching on many subjects here that I want to expand in this podcast.
Yeah.
You talked about the morality of Hamas, of our neighbors, Palestinians, of Lebanese, Yemenis. But the main point that you talked about here, which I completely agree with, is the morals that I think as Israelis have lost, that maybe we gained for a little bit after the war, and I think we're losing them again, which is, you called it a higher cause, a higher power. I do not believe in God. I am Jewish, but I do not believe in God. I know that you're a religious individual. So, for example, I believe in more historical facts. So, for example, I know the stories of Abraham, but I believe that we did have a kingdom of Judea here. Yeah. King Solomon and King Shaul and King David. We did have a kingdom here. We are a people. We are a tribe. We come all from the same place. We have endless historical archives and findings showing that we have a connection to this land. Yeah. And not only did Jews come back to their home 120 years ago. There were many Jews that living here all along the last 2,000 years. If you talk about Hebron, if you talk about Jerusalem, if you talk about the Galilee, people have come and gone, but there has been a continuous presence of Jews all along the last 2,000 years, sometimes more, sometimes less. But in the end, even when you look at our religion and when you look at the things, our holidays, everything has a connection to the land.
All about Jerusalem, all about this land.
All about the agriculture in the land, all about the everything has to do with the land of Israel. Even in the most happiest moment of a Jewish couple, when you get married, doesn't matter where you are, still you press on the glass and remember Jerusalem. Everything in Judaism has to do with the land of Israel for the last 2 millennia. And I think, like you said, once we were attacked, people suddenly remembered, oh my God, this nation now is might not be anymore. We need to protect it. And that's when people from all around...
I want to add something to what you're saying. And I don't think it's only from a religion perspective. You can see it from another perspective, because when I say Jerusalem, I don't just see in my mind a city with, roads and blocks, and I see values. Jerusalem for me and for the Jewish people, the 4,000 years, is the Jerusalem is a symbol. It's a real city, but it's a symbol for our connection to the world, for our goal as a nation, because we are not just a tribe. Every tribe has the dressing and festivals and holidays. No, we are the carriers of values. Jews are the carriers of values throughout history, and we are the deliverers of those values to humanity.
Like what values, for example?
First of all, the knowing that every human being is sacred, have a soul, is a person for himself. This came from us, from Jews, and the absolute optimism that we know that this world can be good. We are not surrendering for evil. We know that good can overcome, can win. This optimism, some call this the belief of Mashiach, but it's not only Mashiach, it's principle. It's in principle to know that we have an absolute optimism, and we know that good can win. When we are going to war in Gaza, we are saying good can win. Good can win evil. This is it's a core of a universal war, in my perspective. It's not just a border dispute about some miles of
a battle of values.
Battle of values. Yes. We are a battle of values between good and evil, and as Jews, and it doesn't matter if you believe it in the religious perspective or other perspective. Jews all over the history was the carriers of values of good, and that is the meaning of the state of Israel.
Yes.
When we came here home, we didn't just came here. We came here to do something, and this thing is to build a state, a society that can be a good, can be you say that there is a frame, tikkun olam, to
repair the world.
To repair the world. We believe it. We can repair the world. This is our goal.
Yes.
And our enemies saying, you cannot repair the world. Evil is stronger than good.
Yes.
And we won't let them.
I think this is a great segue to talk about exactly. You were called to reserves on October 7th. Like you said, in the evening, you were already ready to battle. And you led a battalion, a special battalion, into Gaza.
Yeah.
And you've fought, you've seen, you've been in many neighborhoods. So if you can, I would like you to tell me as much as you can What have you seen? What is something that people around the world don't know or should know about how Gazans, I don't normally say Hamas because it's Hamas, it's a Palestinian Islamic Jihad, it's a Popular Front, it's many, many, many groups. So how do the Gazans conduct war? How do they, because they had many choices to make. When talk about Gazans, they talk about people that have no agency. Israelis came and Israel attacking and Gazans do nothing. But they made a lot of choices. They prepared for the attack, they prepared for the defense. So what have you seen that people outside of Israel don't know or should know?
Okay, two important things to understand what is Gaza. Gaza is a massive urban military zone. All Gaza neighborhoods and cities were organized as a military positions.
What do you mean, organize military positions? How?
First of all, by underground tunnels. The net of tunnels is all over all over Gaza. Thousands of kilometers of underground tunnels. It's not just tunnels; it's bunkers and is a places they can hide and ammunition storage, and all over thousands of kilometers all over the place. Secondly, the urban environment are organized as military positions. Position for rockets, position for snipers, booby-trapped thousands of houses, ordinary houses, booby-trapped with hundreds of kilograms in the walls, hidden in the walls, and
inside the walls, inside the infrastructure.
The walls, yes. And when you are going in, they can see you with the little cameras that are going to the tunnels with the cables. And a man in underground in the tunnel, he sees in the camera when the soldiers come and then blow the building up. So and it's not just one place. It's all over Gaza, and they planned it and they organized it for years for this for defensive for defense.
Oh, it's not something that they did after October 7th started.
No, it's not.
Those places were booby traps before.
Some of the places, yes, of course. First of all, they manufactured those bombs. Mm-hmm. It's not something that they have. It's not a It's a professional thing in a massive thing.
It's professional because from what they show us outside, it seems like there are just a bunch of
no.
people who do things with whatever they can find.
Underground, we found underground factories of those bombs and rockets, and it's not an improvising thing. It's not just some people with with sandals that are improvising something from I don't know, from craps.
Yeah. That's how they portray it.
No, it's a state with a military, with the army. I myself got in the bases. It's a regular military bases, with office and with training facilities, and it's a country with the army that prepared herself for this event, for defense, for years. So people must understand this is a massive urban fortress that made for defense. The other thing is that it's all complex, it's all mixed with the civilian infrastructures and civilian residents and civilian neighbors. For example, I remember I get into kindergarten, and in one of the classes there's a storage of rockets.
Yes, I've seen the footage of that.
107 millimeters rockets that were wanted to go to Israel. So in the kindergarten and in the civilian apartment,
yes.
so there is a apartment of civilians,
Yes.
and next door there is a military command position, and underground there is a bunker. So you cannot. It's all mixed. It's all mixed, and this is very important to understand. The Gaza is a massive fortress. Is a massive fortress. It's not just a civilian city.
Yeah, but I mean, in Gaza, there are 2.2 million people overall. And I've heard from a lot of people who came here to talk that there is a very high percentage of civilian buildings that are booby trap or storing weapons.
Yeah.
What about the people living in these buildings? What about the population who is not military?
Okay, so the regular
They don't have a say in if to store weapons or not?
most of them are in behalf of Hamas. Let's say the truth. Most of the population is in the side of Hamas.
Are supporting?
Yes, supporting them. And
they don't care to hide missiles in their house?
Okay. First of all, they're supporting.
Yes.
Most of them. And some of them volunteer for that. And some have no choice. Some have no choice. And after what the IDF is doing, that every place we are going to get in, we are alerting the population few days before, and we are telling them, all the civilians, you should know that in a couple of days we will come and we were going in this neighborhood, and you are risking your lives, and you can go to a humanitarian place to get shelter. And so we are evacuating those neighborhoods when we are going to get in. And then Hamas take place on some places of civilians. Maybe even they are not there. Because they are not there, they can take over this place. But it doesn't matter. At the end, when I'm attacking a neighborhood, I cannot divide civilian places from military places, because it's all mixed. It all looks the same. It's all the same. It's all mixed, because even though, let's say a civilian that have no connection for Hamas, and he ran out, and then Hamas took over his apartment and make it a place for his military man or a sniper position, or booby trapped it. So when I'm coming to the place, I cannot make a difference what is civilian and what is not. So you must understand, and the people in the world must understand, when I'm going to a neighborhood, in my perspective, as a fighter, in a military eyes, you must see every place as a military position, because most of them are so. So you cannot do the difference, and then you do all you need to do to, first of all, gain your goal, your mission to kill the enemy and to defend your men. We are not, war is a very cruel thing. Yes,
I think I completely agree with you. First of all, we should take care of our own men. And you also said, like you are describing right now, Gaza is one of the most complex urban warfares that we have seen in modern history. Yeah. And you said that we tell the Gazan civilians to evacuate a neighborhood before we go in. Once you go in, you as somebody on the ground, have you had any contact with civilian people who are unarmed? Do you have to take any measures that you think maybe are good or bad? But do you have to take any measures when you move around, when you maneuver around the neighborhoods?
Well, in most of the places, the evacuation of the population was completely. I've saw very, very few civilians. There are, several times we are bumped into some civilians that were left in the area, mostly elders,
old people. Yes,
old people that the population, the civilians just left them in the houses because they couldn't go or something like that. So
What do you do with them?
we evacuate them. We of course.
You yourself evacuate the people?
Yeah, I can show you after if you want pictures. Yeah, when I saw a old lady in our house, even though I know she's the grandpa of terrorists,
yes,
because I have the ID. So what can I do? I don't kill her, of course. I get her out, give her some treatment, and then evacuate her to a humanitarian place with the Red Cross or something. But very few. Most of the places I fought was evacuate completely from civilians. But in some of the places, what we saw, that the terrorists are taking advantage of this, and they are themselves going to the humanitarian shelters, and they are hiding in the population, and then they are going at night or underground, attack us, and get back to the shelters. So in some, we have some operation that we got to a shelter like that, and then we got all the people out of the shelter. Of course, not harm them, and then we selected with terrorists and with civilians, but they are getting advantage of this.
Yeah, it's insane that we have footage of people in Gaza firing rockets from inside tents, for example. Or one of the stories and videos that I had to do once was there was a story that the IDF burned tents, and the story was that there was a munition. They were storing munitions, I think like 1/2 kilometer, 1 kilometer next to it. It was bombed, and then because it's ammunition, then it starts firing all over and comes over there.
Yeah.
And it's insane. I think, like you're saying, one of the tactics that Israel is taking, I don't know if they must or they don't, it's not my place to judge, but like you said, is evacuating people, and we cannot differentiate between who is a militant and who is not. And that, in the end, puts in danger our people, our soldiers, our army. So do you think there are some tactics or maneuvers that the IDF is doing that maybe we should change, or a way to see the battle in Gaza that is not right as of right now?
No, I think we are trying to hold the rope in both sides, and we are doing it well. But war is a cruel thing. I'll tell you a story. One day, in night, my men saw some people, a squad of people crawling towards our road, our positions, and I know they're going to put a bomb, a booby trap on the road, and afterwards we will go on the road and it will explode. And we shot them and killed them. And the morning, I got to see who they were, and I see it's teenagers, 12, 13, maximum 14 years old guys, and in their pockets are a bill of 100 shekels. The Hamas paid them, every one of them, 100 shekel, and gave them the money. And they go to make the trap.
So Hamas told them, "Hey, take 100 shekels, crawl, and put it over there."
They took a kid, 3 kids, and told them, "Take 100 shekels, crawl to the position, and put a bomb." So I'm not glad to kill a 13, 14 years old child. No, but if it's me or him, if it's my man or him, so I have no hesitation.
Yeah.
It's hard, but this is war. We are not killing deliberately civilians, and we are doing a lot to separate between civilians and between terrorists. But they are deliberately getting in the civilians. They are using the civilians as their hiding place and as their cover. several times I saw terrorists that trying to escape our men in civilian groups. Okay, as some of the times as wearing and disguises themselves as women. So we need to do what we need to do.
100%. I think also the subject of the use of children or minors, anybody underneath 17 years old, is something that Western people don't comprehend how much evil there is in these kind of societies.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that all of Gazans do, but some organizations don't care. Like I've already talked about articles about even in Judea and Samaria. There was a story about two kids who were taking explosive and exploded, and it got to the news. Because when you talk about, for example, Brazil, my family's from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro, and something that happens a lot is little children from the favela. It can be 5, 8, 10-year-old. Once they can hold the gun, can go and rob you. Yeah. And when you see that, people understand. But when you talk about that the Gazan people are doing something similar, people don't really comprehend the amount of evil that it is to, like you said, tell a child, hey, here, have 100 shekels, go crawl and put an explosive.
They have no mercy on their own child, and they have no mercy, of course, on our child. We saw that. So this is a real evil. We spoke about evil.
Yes. It's also education for these kids to do these things and think that way.
You know, I was in the schools. You are getting a classroom. You know, in my kids' classroom, we have a rainbow and heart, birds.
And the
alphabet, something. And in their very low classes, you see Kalashnikovs, wooden Kalashnikov, made out of wood, and they have classes of operating Kalashnikovs, a wooden Kalashnikov in a very low classes. We saw
very young classes, very young
classes. Yes, we saw hundreds of this Kalashnikov in their schools, and of course the propaganda, and I saw their books, songs of shaheeds and all the stories how to kill Jews and what. This is an education from day zero of a child to be a shaheed, and you saw the mothers where they're glad, they are thrilled when the child got killed for Allah, for jihad.
Oh, you have countless of videos of mothers saying, "I wish my kid would be shaheed,"
and this is the culture of death. They are admire death. And we should know it. We as Westerns, sometimes we have an illusion that every culture look at the world in our eyes, in the same way that we see the world.
Yes.
But it's not true. It's not true. The values, the Jewish values, the Western values, the liberal values that we see through them, the world, is not their eyes.
I think what you're saying is something very true, and I think it's something very, I would even say racist, that a lot of people cannot look outside their own reality. They cannot accept, everybody thinks exactly like me. I have the best idea in the world, I have the best principles in the world, so it doesn't matter who you are around the world, you think like me and you want what I want. And that's something
and he can shout and say and write and sing what he wants, and you won't believe him. You think you know better than him what he wanted.
That's also something here in Israel. A lot of people, when I talk to, there's a incredible woman called Einat Wilf, and she wrote a book called The War of Return. And she has a phrase that she says that for the first time, she listened to the Palestinians to their word. Yeah. Because even a lot of Israelis, the Palestinians say, we want to erase you. And they say, no, that's not what they mean. Really. They mean this and that. No, you should listen to what they're telling you.
No.
Yes, they don't know what they think. They don't know what they want. I think that's very elitist and very racist.
I think that one of the things that we should learn, the whole world should learn from the what happened in the 7th of October, is to get the mask of ourselves down, to get out of the illusion. We we fooled ourselves. We fooled ourselves. We thought that if they will just have some, agreement and it's just, something of interest. No, then they say it. It's nothing. Have no connection for interest or land or something like that. They want to replace us.
Yes.
They don't want Israel to exist.
And I think it's very strong coming from you, because that's also an understanding that you came by, because you, like you said before, you knew Gaza, you knew they had tenders, but when October 7th happened, it's the first time you understood how much they want to do it.
Yeah.
And also there's a story that hopefully we can get to, by you getting shot by a sniper, that you said that also changed even more how you see the reality. So can you talk about, because a lot of people that I like today talk about, the most popular word today is the misconception before October 7th.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the shift that happened before and after?
I can say my mind wasn't changed, but I think I understood deeply things that I knew, but on the surface.
What did you believe before October 7th?
I knew it. I knew it before, because I study Islam, and I have a second degree in Islam and the history of it. And I knew what they're saying, and I knew it. But, there is a difference between knowing something and understanding in a deep way. And I understood they are really, really meaning what they're saying. I'll tell you about my injury. I was injured in Jabalia. Jabalia is one of the, it's a little town, not so little, a big town in the northern Gaza Strip. A very, known terrorist town for years of years. And
one of the major names, like Khan Yunis, for example.
Yes, it's a very tough place. And the battalion, the terrorist battalion, the Nukhba, they called it their special unit, the raid unit of Hamas, called the Nukhba. And it's, the Hamas is very territorial. Every city have a battalion. It's not all over the place. Every neighborhood, every city have a battalion. And
which shows you how much they include themselves in the civilian population, because it's not battalions for a purpose, it's battalion for the neighborhood.
For the neighborhood. And the city, the town of Jabalia, the battalion of the Nukhba battalion of Jabalia is the one that they ride for Gaza, and they took hostage of several people and some corpse. They're taking the corpse and doing a negotiation on corpse.
That's insane.
And they hide them in the under the ground, 40 meters under the ground in the tunnels. And the mission of my battalion, all the division, was to get off Jabalia and to find those corpses and
find the taken hostages,
the killed hostage, and bring them back. And it's a very specific and a very complicated mission, because there is no sign. Here is the tunnel, and here is the body. You need to.
You had to take over Jabalia.
So we should take control all the place, all the environment, and then you can, by intelligence and other methods, you can locate those bodies. And then you need to get in the tunnels, and you have no tanks, no air cover in those tunnels.
Yes.
It's very complicated.
You by yourself.
You are by yourself, and it's take time. And in the morning of one Shabbat, we got we went to attack to take over some of the neighborhood, and a sniper 300 meters away in those ruins building spot me and my command group. And the Hamas have a sniping rifle a very unique, big caliber rifle, a 0.5 inch
The Barrett?
bullet, like a Barrett.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Dragon.
Steyr. It's Steyr, not Dragnov. It's Steyr. It's a German duplicated Iranian.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask, how do the guys have a German rifle?
The Iranian duplicate the Steyr.
Wait, you were shot with a half caliber?
Yeah. So yes. So this guy shot me, and the bullet. It's a very heavy bullet, as I said. The point is a penetrating armor.
Yes.
Penetrating point, and it's.
How did you not split in half?
Okay, so this is story. First of all, it's hit my guy, my communication guy, that stood side by side me, and got him from side to side in the stomach, and then the same bullet hit me in the chest, and he was seriously injured, of course. And luckily, the bullet just, scratched my back and my lungs. You are feeling like you hit by a horse that kicked you in your chest. And I just got a very big, pence in my.
You have a very big scar now.
Scar in my back and my chest. But I'm good. My guy, my communication guy was 3 months in coma.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And,
is he with us now? Is he okay?
Now he's with us.
Okay.
But okay. I got injured. A little surgery. A few days in hospital. But in those days, I have some quiet. When you are in battle, there's always noise in the communication in your ear, and tank engines and bombs and fire, and you're all
day and night, all the time.
Day and night, you are stressed, and you are all about you're fooled with the.
And you're leading a battalion.
And you're leading a battalion, yes. And suddenly I have quiet. I'm in my bed. Night, everybody are sleeping.
Oh, you went back home. You got
in the hospital.
Oh,
in the hospital.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a few days in hospital after the surgery, and I started to think, what do I need this? This shit, because it's really shitty thing to be in the field.
Yeah, you've done your part.
I'm not a child. And I have these armor plates and the magazines and the weapon and the communication. It's kilograms on my back, day and night for months. We were 3 months.
And you have a family. You have 6 kids
and family, and it's hot. It was in June. Hot, hot in Gaza. You are sleeping on the ground on concrete and ruined houses. All the day you are smelling gasoline and fire and smoke, and sand is getting to every crack of your body. It's not something nice. So to
say the least.
So what I needed? Why? I go home. I have 6 kids. I have a wife. I have a nice place. I was injured back in second Lebanon war. I don't need to be in the army. I'm a volunteer.
You were injured also in the second Lebanon war.
Yes, and I have a percentage of
disableness.
Disableness, and the army disability. The army was tell me go
home.
I'm a volunteer.
You're good.
Why do I need it?
Oh wow!
And my answer to myself and my answer to everyone that see that to be a man, to be is not just to live, is to live for a purpose, is to know that when you are living, you are something beyond yourself, beyond your happiness and your the next steak or the next girl.
Yes.
Not for me, but for you.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. No, it's not for this.
Yes.
You are living to be something else. And when I started to ask myself, what is this thing? I know that the connection, to be a part of something big is not just, a word we're saying and, something that maybe we said in the prayer or no, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And my man in the field is mine. I am responsible for them. And the people of Israel, everywhere, they are mine. I'm responsible for them. And it's not, something that you are saying it from outside. It's a very deep thing. And when I saw in Gaza, and afterwards in Lebanon, we were afterwards, in March, we finished fighting in Lebanon. I saw what they say. And in every house in Lebanon, and every house in Gaza, we saw the picture of Jerusalem. It's the symbol of Hamas, Jerusalem, and the symbol of Hezbollah, Jerusalem. And in every place, every house, in the bombs, the RPGs, what's the RPG?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are spraying with spray the symbol of Hamas, Jerusalem.
The Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Yeah, with spray. You said the Al-Aqsa Mosque, not the Al-Aqsa, the Omar Mosque, the place of the temple.
Yes.
The Al-Aqsa is a bit southern from the place of the temple. The dome, the dome,
yes.
the dome, and it's everywhere. And what they are saying in this thing, they are saying we are fighting for Jerusalem. We are fighting to replace you. We are fighting, and we are saying it's not, I was injured in the street when the junction is it's called the Sesame Street.
Okay.
Yeah. And, sometimes we are, as Westerns, we think that all the wars and it's like in Sesame Street. It's misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. A kid took my ball and I took his doll, and if we will sit and speak with one another like grown-ups, you bring me back my ball, I will bring back your doll, and everything will be no,
we know exactly what they want.
It's not Sesame Street. They are saying what it is. It's Jerusalem. It's values. They have an ideology. I saw it, in Lebanon. I was in a tunnel. Hezbollah always have tunnels. And one of the tunnels, I'm walking and I'm seeing an arrow and something written in Arabic. I thought it's telling the guy in the tunnel to go right, left, something like that. I asked him, my guy, what is written here in Arabic? He told me the way to Jerusalem. So he's getting in the tunnel in a southern Lebanon village, but he will go out in Jerusalem in his mind. And when I'm seeing how they're announcing the funerals of their jihad shaheeds, and they're saying the shaheed Muhammad ibn Salman was killed in his way to Jerusalem, and he will be buried in his village Al Adaysa.
So Jerusalem is their symbol.
It's a symbol for the way of living, for their religious understanding of the world, the symbol of their goal to replace us in this land. Because
the reality right now is that the Arabs, Palestinians, whoever, they can go to Al-Aqsa Mosque whenever they want. They can go and pray.
Yes,
Jordan.
But it's not only a religious thing.
Not only that.
Not only not just to make a religious ritual. It's to replace us physically and morally. They want to go over the world.
Yeah, something that a lot of people don't know is that up until 50, 60 years ago, they used to call the Temple Mount Bat al-Maqdis, Beit HaMikdash. In their own, they recognized that mountain was our temple that they built over.
Yeah, but and what I know that we too have Jerusalem, and our Jerusalem is the opposite. Is the opposite of their Jerusalem. If their Jerusalem is all about taking over, about evil, I saw the Nova Festival. We saw what they can do. Their Jerusalem is violence, is a culture of death. We spoke about it earlier. Our Jerusalem is something else. Our Jerusalem is all about repairing the world. And this is what we're fighting for. And, there are some people that what I'm saying scared them because it sounds, something that you can't deal with, because if they are so ideologic, it's all religious thing. So what you can do, and we have also difficulty to see ourselves as, not just as a regular liberal Western country. We are deliberating. We're taking on our shoulders something great. It's heavy. It's heavy to take on your shoulders a great goal is heavy. But I think that today we cannot
escape from.
We cannot escape from this. We cannot hide from it, and we must say it. This is not just war between neighbors on some land.
It's another ideology.
This is much more than this. This is the core of the values of humanity, and the world and Europe should know. That we are the outpost. We are the outpost of Europe against this.
Some people know, but not too many people know.
Yes.
And I think what you're saying reminds me of something as a Jew that lives outside of Israel most of his life. Well, now, not anymore. But there's a saying, there's a phrase that the Jews are the chosen people. Now, there's two ways to see that phrase. Some people take it as we are chosen, so we are the best. But most Jews see it as we are chosen for a job, for a purpose. We're not chosen so we need to get everything like the chosen son. We are chosen for a purpose, like you said, to give an example. And we are not a missionary religion. We're not a missionary ethnicity. We're not trying to convert the world to Judaism. We're trying to, like you said, use Israel, use Jerusalem as a place to spread good to the world, to spread an example to the world. Being the chosen people to have this job, which is not an easy job. And I think that is one of the core principles that people need to understand about Judaism.
Yeah. The meaning of chosen, to be chosen, if to use this phrase, is to take responsibility. And to take responsibility is to be connected. You cannot take responsibility for something you don't care of. And because we care for the world, we care for humanity, we care for good, we take responsibility to repair the world.
Yes.
This is a mission, but it's not mission that that we have. We chose it. We want it because we believe it. We believe it.
Yeah. You fought also in Lebanon since the war started, right?
Yeah.
Is there a big difference between their principles, how they fight, like you said, the civilian?
Yeah.
Is there a big difference between the two? Because you said they both have to Al-Aqsa.
I'll tell you yes and no. Yes and no. The similar thing is the civilians and the military Hezbollah are mixed together. In the north, as in Gaza, all the southern Lebanon villages are military bases. Much more than Gaza. Much more.
Really?
Than Gaza. Yeah.
You're not the first one who told me this.
It's an amazing thing. I didn't believe it. We got to southern villages, and you are opening a garage, a regular garage, and suddenly you see rockets and ATGMs, cornets and missiles and
Cornets are anti-tank missiles.
Anti-tank missiles and bombs and rockets for in enormous numbers in all over the village. It's a regular village. You have in your haircut store
A barber.
And beside him a military storage and a shoe store. So and up on the store floor there are civilians. So it's mixed much more than in Gaza. And the numbers and the organization of Hezbollah was much more professional military than Hamas.
Yeah.
Everything is new. Everything is not. Everything is professional, military, professional Russian.
Yes, they got everything. They used to get everything through Syria, through Iran, through Russia.
Iranian and Russian
weapons, ammunition,
regular
military
equipment, weapons, and enormous numbers, countless.
How do you think
we got out of one villages more than 100 tracks,
yes,
loaded with ammunition. It's insane.
How do you think that affects because these are villages that people live. How do you think this affects their mentality? How they see us? How do you see the future? Because if you live all the time, I'm sure not just the Hezbollah people know this. I'm guessing people that live in that neighborhood know exactly what is where. How do you think that changes how they see the world and how they see us? And do you think, these people are right now getting back to southern Lebanon, and right now we're seeing that we're attacking again because they're trying to attack us again. Is there any way to bridge between, to get along, bridge the differences, something with people who live along these?
Again, let's think what Hezbollah wanted from us. There is no Israeli soldier in Lebanon for years, and
they believe that Israel is theirs.
What they wanted. So, and they invest money and efforts and manpower. You cannot say what did they want. What did they want? And they planned to do the same as Hamas and much worse. The same as Hamas do in the envelope of Gaza, they plan to do in the northern border, and much worse. I was in Metula. They planned to kill and massacre the Metula, and settlements all over the border. And what do they want? They said they want to replace us. They think that there is no place for a free state for Jews in the world. They don't believe that we have the right to live in a free state. We can be the slaves and we can be everything, but they believe that this is insult for Islam. The very existence of Israel is an insult for Islam.
Yeah,
they believe in it. So
because we took it away from them, they conquered it.
No, but they took it away because the insult for Allah that the kufrim are having the and so you are asking if there is a bridge for those societies. First of all, we need to break their spirit that want to kill us. We must build an iron wall against the wishes to kill us and to replace us. And maybe if we will make this iron wall, an iron wish, iron will, iron wall and iron will, maybe in 100 generations from now, 50 generations, I don't know, maybe they will be changed. But
you think it's going to happen in 50 generations from today?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's going to be...
I don't know. We cannot count on them as they are today. Islamic radicals, Islamic cultures, as appears today on our borders, in Iran, in Yemen, in Hezbollah, in Hamas, we cannot get along with them. And we can never, think that they will be something else.
So what do you think, how do you see the future with Gaza, with Lebanon, with Judea and Samaria?
Iron wall and iron will.
Okay.
I don't see another solution. If they will know that every attempt of them to attack us or to challenge us will be answered by a total power, maybe they will do their math.
Do you think they understand power?
They understand only power. Look at Hezbollah. We slapped them very hardly.
Yes, we did.
Very hardly.
Yes, we did.
And they got back. And now we are attacking in Iran, and Hezbollah is saying we are not in business.
That is true.
Why? Because we hit them. And they understand that if they will try again, they will be got hit. I don't know. They will
be hit. Yeah.
Will be hit very, very badly. So they understand power. And we, as I said, iron will and iron wall.
So what about Gaza, for example? Because
Gaza is more complicated because there is no country. The Lebanese state, there's no state. The Lebanese state took responsibility on the area, on the
southern Lebanon,
the southern Lebanon, and in Gaza there is no such thing. The state itself is a Hamas state, so we must erase this organization. And first of all, that we must do that. We cannot let Hamas be in power in Gaza. We cannot let it. We cannot live side by side of them.
Agreed.
And that must be agreed.
But is there another Palestinian organization?
And what will be after? First of all, to go to step 2, you need to finish step 1, because no one will replace Hamas and no one will recover Gaza if Hamas is in power.
Yes. We need to make a place for somebody to take.
Exactly. We will need to make a place for someone, and then maybe other powers that are less Islamic, less radicals, that have sense will take over power in Gaza. But
so you don't think we should take control of Gaza?
I think that there is in the shorter while, yes, because we need to handle the humanitarian and the food.
Yeah, like I said, we need to make space, and up until somebody else comes.
I think there is no. I don't see something that we have to do in Gaza specifically that we must know.
So I don't think we should settle Gaza. You don't think we should bring back Gush Katif?
No. I don't think it's not the goal of this war. We need to get off Hamas from power, and afterwards we will need to build something else, and it will take years. Make no mistake. Even physically, the buildings of Gaza, 90% of the buildings are you can't live in them.
Yes.
So it will take years, and some of the places around the border and the Philadelphia road
corridor,
we will need to be there forever.
We cannot trust them.
And we need to take control on the borders and to see what is getting in and what is getting out. And we need to draw our border far from our settlements. And in Gaza, it's in their hands. We need to erase Hamas. And
so you don't think Israel, we don't have any interest of taking control of Gaza as a state, but we are the ones in charge right now of making sure that they cannot do what they did again
Yeah.
until somebody else who doesn't want to do what they did on October 7th wants to take control.
And afterwards, we will need to keep a very big, a sharp eye on what is going on the borders, and we will be involved in what is building there, what kind of regime is coming.
We should work along with them.
Yeah, we must, because I think we learned our lesson. We learned our lesson. We cannot have terrorist states and terrorist armies on our borders. We cannot.
100%. But I think what scares me the most about what you're saying, first of all, I agree with everything you said about that now. But for an iron wall and iron will, we need a people with an iron will here in Israel. And I feel, from what I'm seeing, that the iron will was ignited after 7 October, and it's already dimming down. So if we take now the look back into us, into Israel, you right now you're an education man.
Yeah.
You were a teacher, you work in the Ministry of Education before October 7th, and now you're also starting you're joining a movement called the Nikraim Ladegel, right?
Yeah.
So does that have anything to do with the situation?
Yeah, of course. I'm doing what I can in the not a political environment, but in the society and in the tzibur, how you say it?
The public.
The public to say those things. I think you're underestimating the people of Israel. I think we have a great will. Look of those days we are in the middle of the war in Iran. We are 3 or 4 days after the start of the war.
As we're speaking, we're in between bombardments of.
As we're speaking, and who would imagine a year ago that we will go to attack Iran, and we done it, with a great success. And the people of Israel know that we have no choice. We have no choice. And if we want to live here in peace, and if we want to be a living state, we must have a iron will, and we must do what we need to do. And if we need to attack in Iran, we prepared it for years. And we are attacking Iran, and we attacked Hezbollah, and now we are fighting Hamas, and we will fight the Yemenis, and we will do what needed to do, because we know who we are. As I told you at the start of this conversation, we are not just born from the sea. We are the sons of Avraham Avinu, of King David, of Moses, of the Maccabees. We came home, and we came home to stay. So no one will fry us, and no one
will kick us out of here.
Yeah, no one.
100%. So do you want to give us a few words about the Nikraim Ladegel? What are your principles? What do you do?
Yes, this is an organization that I lead with my colleagues, Lieutenant General Danny Van Buren, and Professor Asher Cohen. We are our organization, our group. We are calling to get back to Israel the balances in all the fields of activity, balances between the people and the justice system, the balance between in the academy that got influenced by progressive movements and have no place for more conservative.
Higher education here has been taken by the left and by the progressive. And we're seeing a lot of chants and almost every week in these higher academies against the state of Israel.
The academy was kidnapped by left ideas. It's a very sad thing. And we are calling to go back to see our identity as the core, as Jews in this country, as the core of the identity of the state, and to act like that in all the fields. As I said, we are speaking about iron wall and iron will as a strategic thinking about how do you say bitachon, security,
the security.
How we see our security in the long terms, and to do good.
I 100% agree. Do you think the current leadership today is allowing this iron wall and iron will, or do you think we need a change, like in the upcoming generation?
I think we need a change. I think that we have. I'm not one that cursing and thinking that all the government and everyone that in politics now is the worst. No, they are good men. There are great things that Netanyahu is doing. He's a great leader. I cannot say he's not, but I think we need to go back to something more simple, more unified, and less populist. There is a very, very populist sentiment in some of our politicians, and we want we are men of truth, of a simple man of simple truth. We are not an official professional politics, and we want to bring back to the system some common sense, some common looking in the eyes of the people back, with a lot of respect to the men that now are leading Israel to great successes. We cannot take it from them, but maybe
credit is due where credit is due.
Maybe they need some help to get back to a course of leading Israel back to be what she was.
I think what you said is, I 100% agree. There's a principle here that I feel that we lost, and as of right now, there's not many leaders, politicians, army people that I think have it, which is the love for the nation, ahavat haaretz. Like you said, it's mostly populist. You have leaders from the right and from the left that care more about the next voting more than the nation itself.
The next the next TikTok reels, and we are heading something. We are targeting. We want something more long-term thinking, long-term identity.
100%. I think when you talk about politics, I think that we need a strong right and a strong left. Right now, we don't have any of those. That whatever your political views are, that want the good for Israel, that want the good for the people, for the nation. Even when you look at the army, they want the good for Israel and for their soldiers more than the good for the international court or whoever is trying to pull us down and destroy us. We need a leadership that looks inward, that looks into their love and appreciation for Israel, the Jewish people, and whoever wants to support us more than looking at for the likes outside.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get that with your Nikreim LaDegel.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so Itamar, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming. This was a great conversation. Thank you so much for listening to Heroes of Zion. The fact that you are still here is already a step forward for the better future, simply because we can now make better decisions that affect us all from a more knowledgeable position. If you enjoyed the episode and think it's worth a share, go ahead and send it to anyone who might be interested in knowing the truth on the ground. But what would help me the most is growing this mission, building a team so I can keep creating content like this more regularly and keep exposing the truth. And for that, I need your help. All the ways you can support are linked in the description below. Thank you for being part of this. I'm Israel Chai.